Okay. All right, sorry about that, everybody. If anybody's here, I always have to stop it and then turn it back on again because the chat is disappearing and it's still happening. I'm not really sure what's going on with YouTube, but we've got a couple of technical glitches going on with the old YouTube, so make sure you let me know if anything happens or you see something. Okay, I did get a song right away. It's called Ghosts Will Haunt My Bones. It's by a band called Machine Head. And this has been playing in my head all fucking night. And then it's just started again as I sat down. When the night crashes down, something about the nighttime. Somebody may be getting haunted at night. I feel like this is a haunting reading. So take what resonates and discard what doesn't. Good morning, Stephen. How the hell is it hanging, buddy? I hope you're having a good day. I have my horse shirt on. Got this bad boy at the thrift store the other day. So happy for myself. I'm really starting to like clothes that have animals on. I don't know what. All right, let's see what's going on. Take what resonates and discard what doesn't. I just fucked this card up on the top. I wasn't going to take it, but it's a vampire. Vampires are dead. Loser, you could be losing something to an energy that's around you. All right, what's going on? Okay, so there's definitely a couple things going on here. Okay, and Marlowe is on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the dead dog is right here. We're going to leave you out, buddy. Okay. Okay, so basically what I'm getting is there seems to be some type of like succubus energy around somebody. that it could be making you sick, okay? Like physically ill, okay? I feel like it's a masculine energy that is this vampire, okay? Dead or alive. I think they're dead. I don't think they're alive. They are a wolf in sheep's clothing, I just heard. Very one-sided, very obnoxious. They're not smart about the things that they do. They're not smart about the decisions that they make. They've been caught at a dead end multiple times, and somehow they just keep fucking around. Like, this person seems to have no fear in complete destruction. Like, the Blair Witch is here too. You have to use your instincts on this one. Because I feel like something has to do with your money. Like, say, for instance, you got a job and then all of a sudden you were sick. Like, over and over and over and over. And, like, not even finish your probational period. You just keep getting sick and sick. That's what this is. Okay, it's somebody that doesn't want to possibly see you make money, so it's going to try to take it away from you. And if it can't stop you from going to work, like it can't stop your ambition from going to work, then it's going to do something to your health. It's going to fuck you a different way because it knows that you treat yourself really good, possibly even maybe baby yourself, and when you don't feel good, you don't go to work, so it's going to have you keep not feeling well. Right? But it's like a creepy not feeling well because it only lasts for a little while until you call in sick. And then it's almost like you feel better. And you're like, okay, is that some kind of like fuckery that makes me call in sick? It's like something is getting somebody to call in sick. Quite a bit. And it's justice in reverse. It's misjustice. It's not the way that this is supposed to be going down. I don't feel like you're supposed to be treated like this. Like, this was the way it was supposed to go. It was a prophecy to somebody to do it, but I don't think it was like you sat around thinking to yourself, you know what, I'll just call in sick. I really don't want to work, but I have to get a job and there's no way out of it. So I'm just going to get this one job and I'm going to call in sick all the time and I'm going to make them fire me. Maybe something like that. I feel like that's the enemy saying that to you. As if they're talking for you. I don't think that this is consciously you. The stage has been set. It's almost like somebody's been consciously talking over top of you or subconsciously talking over top of you. I mean, it's a one-sided narcissist, you know what I mean? So, you know how a narcissist will just turn everything around and make it a one-way conversation. This is almost like what somebody's doing to you. They're turning everything that you want around and making it a one-way conversation with them and like your guides or them and your future. And they're like cutting you. I can see them physically cutting you out of making even your own decisions. But you would think, how the fuck would they do that? Trust me. There's a lot of ways where suddenly you don't get to make any decisions in your life. And it kind of comes weird where you're like, how did I get here? How did I do this? Where now I don't get to decide anything, right? You give a little and then somebody just takes everything. I mean, it's a miscarriage of justice because justice is in reverse. And that makes me feel like it probably was not supposed to happen. It wasn't divinely lined up by God. That's for fucking sure. Okay, for somebody to just almost kind of take your life into their hands and just say, fuck it. Doesn't matter what you want. Doesn't matter what you're going to say. Doesn't matter how hard you're willing to work. This is how we're going to do it. This is how I want to do it. This is how I'm going to drive your life into another direction because I don't want you going in this direction because I told you you're not allowed to do it and you're going to try and do it anyway. So I'm going to take control of you. Wow. The star in limbo, like somebody has had their compass interjected. Gaslight, yeah. It's almost as if your own direction you weren't allowed to pick. Your own speed at life you weren't allowed to pick. Your own, hey, by the way, I don't like this and I do like this, right? Pros and cons lists of things that you like and don't like. But they just spoke over you. So they've been feeding you food that you don't like. They've been sending you people around you that you don't like. They've been doing all of these things, and then they're trying to convince you, well, this is what you like. This is what you like. This is what you like. And you're like, no, this is not what I like. But because it's manifesting in your life, you're thinking, do I like this? Is this what I want? And then walking away from the actual path you're supposed to be on because there's a dead end, but it's a dead end in reverse. It's not what you're not really supposed to take it seriously. It's like a mirage. It's somebody just saying there's a dead end here. So then you turn around and go a different direction, but really it's not a dead end. Could have been like a little bump in the road, little pit stop, but it certainly wasn't a fucking dead end. So I feel like somebody got caught with spiritual manipulation. That's what I just heard in my head. I was like, this is a case of spiritual manipulation. Taking you against your will. And like the mind flayer, taking over your mind and infusing that into your mind that although you have made your own decisions about things, this person or this entity is going to tell you differently. They're going to say, no, you don't want to go left. You really want to go right. No, you don't want to eat a burger, even though you've been thinking about it all day. You actually want pasta. It's changing something, and it seems subtle, but then you get the thing that all of a sudden was said over top of the thing that you want, and you're like, this is not what I wanted. Like, I never asked for this. I wanted the other thing. But you heard this other thing, and you went with that. You know, it's like, they always say, go with the first thing you say, right? If the first thing you said was you want a burrito, don't suddenly switch it because you see the menu. You're like, oh, okay, well, maybe this or maybe that. That's the illusion. That's where the devil comes in because he's going to give you all these other options. Like, I know you said you wanted this, but look, we got this and this and this. And sometimes that's good because maybe you're looking for something else. But sometimes people make up their minds and they know what they want and they don't like anybody fucking with it. So when they get somewhere, they don't even want to look at the menu. They want the certain thing. And if somebody comes up, yeah, but look at the menu, look at the menu, look at the menu. But what if you want something else? If you're not confident enough in the decisions that you make, that little, yeah, but look, just look, but look at, this is on for sale. And this is, you can get 2 for 1 over here. You're going to get like manipulated and fucked. And it's very easy. It's not like, I'm not saying like this is like the hardest thing to ever do to manipulate somebody. You know, it's super easy to get manipulated. You just have to see where it's happening and then stop it and be like, no, this is what I said and I'm sticking with it. Somebody needs to stick with what they say and not change their mind, right, in the last minute and suddenly go for this or suddenly go for that. Like, they need to stick with what they decide the first time. And even if it doesn't come right away or even if it's not easy, stick with the one thing instead of changing it, because that's where the devil comes in. Like, oh yeah, but that doesn't stop there. Okay, you can keep going. You know, you can try this and you can try that and you can do this. You know, people do this over here. It's too much mind influence somehow. Okay, that needs to get stopped. And the stage has kind of been set like this, so then you realize what you truly want and start going in that direction instead of what other people want and what other people do and what other people say. It's like, fuck it. Who the fuck cares? Other people want. They don't want what you want. Okay? There's disease. Disease is kind of very beneficial to this because I almost feel like somebody with a sickness and disease, maybe you have a disease or maybe there's something, you know, like a different blood type or something. There's maybe a little chromosome that's not right or something. And they make you pull on that crutch, right? Like, oh, you're not really feeling good today, so just call in sick. Or, you know, you're a little inflamed today, so just call in sick. Or you've got a little bit of a headache, just call in sick. When really, I think if you got up and moving and out of your house, you'd probably end up feeling better. Right? Because it's a subconscious crutch. It's not, like, it's there, but it's not something that is so bad you need crutches with. Literally, it's not a broken bone. It's could just be you babying yourself too, or just being a little bit too protective of yourself. It's almost like I'm getting... It's a hard river to cross, but there's a lot of ways across it. You know, like there's a lot of different ways that you can go with this. Okay? Private property and Mother Nature's wrath. I think it's possible that maybe your parents didn't give you the right protection like they should have. So other things got around you and other things got into you and other things started almost metastasizing around you because there wasn't anybody to help you. There wasn't anybody to steer you in the right direction. There were only vampires and monsters around you, right? And now I'm getting Yellow Wolf. The way that guy was raised, honestly, it seems, I mean, he always talks about it, the way he was raised. And he was raised off of like party central parents. Parties all the time, making moonshine, drinking moonshine, fucking crack pipes and fucking needles and, you know, little kids being up all night and watching, you know, the things that adults do in the dark and shouldn't be watching, right? It's like something like that, being put around things, right? And because there was no boundaries, there was nobody protecting you. There was nobody putting on the alarm. Okay. So Mother Nature, because she's everybody's mother, is kind of pissed because she put you in their care and they were supposed to take care of you. And I don't really think they did. I think this was like party central, like let your kids stay up all night and do whatever the fuck they want. Right. No one's really watching. There was drugs everywhere. There was, you know, sex. There was things that were happening that his little tiny mind, I don't think still has been able to comprehend, right? Because he wasn't supposed to see those things. Kids aren't supposed to see those things. Okay. And Mother Nature will step in and stand up for her children in certain ways. And that's where CPS comes in. And that's where jail comes in. You're not allowed to do certain things to fucking children. And I know that people think, well, that's my kid. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. It's mine. I own it. No, that kid still has its own rights and you cannot violate those rights. You cannot just be an asshole parent because that's just what you want to be because you own the rights to that kid. You actually don't. She does. Okay. Like, you know how I kind of feel like that one fucking demonology bitch. I want to call her Ethel, but that's not right. Athena? No. Oh, that bitch. I call her a bitch because I think she really is one, but that's okay. Like, I mean, you're supposed to be a bitch over children, right? You're supposed to be that female dog, protective energy. But Lilith. I also feel like she steals kids, though. But I think she's kind of more like, I'm almost getting the vibe of like Bagul would come in, almost like a Krampus, come in and take the kid away from the family because the family clearly can't take care of the child. And now the demons have to step in, the fallen angels have to step in, something else has to step in. So then this child doesn't die, right, immediately upon entry to this place, because there's a mission that each soul has. And if you can't just let go of that mission, if they're just not going to pull you out, right, then you have to survive it. And then if you have to survive it, you have to live to tell that tale. That's a hard tale to tell. And it's going to take a long time to figure out, because you were so little, what really actually happened, right? Because your eyes, you didn't know what was going on. So even as an adult, you might have seen it 100,000 million times. Your little mind still doesn't know that that's what you saw, right? Because it can't put the pieces of the puzzle together, because you can't comprehend it yet, because you probably put it somewhere because it was complicated, because you didn't know what it was, and you still haven't opened up that door. You still haven't put the puzzle together yet, because you didn't know what it was. Even though now you've seen it, you're an adult. It's different now, but it's still going to have the same harmful results when you open it up and see it from adult eyes where you were a child. It's almost worse. Like when I look at things that happened to me as a child, it is so hard, because you kind of step out of your body, because you are a little bit out of your body. I'm not a child anymore. I'm not a baby. I'm not right? So when I had to go back to that, I see it as very third person. You know, I'm very kind of, I'm detached from it, but I'm also like, I'm almost feel like I'm mother now to my little self. And when my little self comes to me and she's crying and something has happened, I console her so much, because I know that nobody else did. Right? So I see my little self so differently now. If something I don't understand, or something that is from my childhood that I don't necessarily know, but it still upsets me, I don't get upset about that anymore, because I still don't really know everything. And I may not know everything that my parents really did to me and what I survived around them. I may not know. You may not be able to put that together, because it might be too hard for you to comprehend still, right? Because those feelings are going to come up, and those memories are going to come up, and those people still might be alive. And you have to still live with the fact that they made those decisions because they said that they had complete control of you and they owned you. Now they disowned you, now they don't talk to you. So who's got ownership now? Because you guys said you owned me before, but now you don't. So now we're going to talk about all those times that you said that you owned me, and then you walked away. Because I'm pretty sure if you own something, you don't walk away from it. But people do walk away from things they own all the time. They don't even put them up for sale. They just abandon them, right? You see that. You see houses that are abandoned. You see cars that are abandoned. You see clothes that are abandoned. People just abandon things. They don't want to deal with it anymore. Fucking they'll just leave it on the side of the road. They don't even take it somewhere to take care of it. They'll just dump it sometimes. They're so fucking arrogant and ignorant about the things that they feel like they can just replace. And it's like, doesn't really work that way all the time. Things aren't just easy to replace, right? You need to really think about sometimes the things that you do in the energy that you're doing them in, because you might be actually hurting yourself, right? Because you still don't really know what the fuck happened. Woo. Marlo. The dead talk. These ghosts will haunt my bones. You see what I mean? These people are still haunting somebody. And no matter how much money they make, they don't go away. Right? Because that's not how the past doesn't go away because your financial status increases. Past doesn't go away because, you jumped into a new relationship and you think you can just move on from it. That shit follows you around, buddy. It's going to follow you around forever until you open up the door and face the shit that you went through, right? And you might survive it, you may not. Like, sometimes people just kill their parents. Sometimes people just do things. And can you really blame them? Sometimes, yes. I do believe some people can get blamed for the things that they do. Other people, if I had to be a judge, oh, good God, I would be way too lenient with the people who killed because they got abused by those people. I'd be like, okay, so you're going to do 1 year of community service. We're going to have a couple of psychiatric evaluations for you, and then I'm just going to toss you right back on the street again. Because you did society a favor, okay? But we can't say it as that. No. Blasphemy. Must we not say the monsters should perish? No. We have to say, well, everybody gets their day with God in judgment, and we just leave it up to the universe, right? Oh, yeah, Scout's honor. Leave that right up to God. Okay. Some people don't live like that, okay? And we just have to take everybody into consideration. And I feel like if somebody has done something to you and you didn't do anything to them, I want you to give yourself a giant pat on the back right now. I want you to go and do the best thing that you love in this whole world and just treat yourself like a queen, like a king, because you got past a huge test. I told you guys, I saw my dad on his motorcycle again the other day. And, he's so vulnerable on that thing. I just want to say that. That's all I'm going to say. Motorcycles are very dangerous. People they don't see you. You just come out of nowhere, Oh, man, I was watching the King of Queens episode where Doug gets a motorcycle. And Carrie tries to tell him that he's not allowed to get it because she doesn't want him to die. And he's like, well, I'm going to go out and get it anyways. You can't tell me what to do. She's like, fine. And then he realizes he hates it, but he doesn't want to tell her. So then he gets rid of the bike and makes it seem like he did it for her because she didn't like it. So then she goes out and buys it back for him because she doesn't want to be that kind of wife that does that. And then he tells her the truth that he hates it. And then he's describing it. He's like, okay, well, in the daytime, you're just fighting for your life, because everybody just basically wants to kill you. And he goes, then at night, you're just going to die. You are just going to straight up die. He's so scared. And actually, I worked with this girl back in the day. Like 20 years ago. Fucking, what was her name? It doesn't matter. Ricochet or something? Rodeo, or I don't know. We had all these weird fucking call names anyways. I know her name, but I think it was Rebecca. And her husband got a fucking crotch rocket. She didn't really say much. He was an OPG worker. He made a lot of money. So she was like, my husband's allowed to do whatever he wants. And he got T-boned by somebody on his bike and broke like 14 fucking bones. He was off work for like 2 fucking years. Oh my God. She was just absolutely dead. He should have died. He should have died. Some old lady didn't see him, went right through an intersection and just hit him straight on. And yeah. My dad's driven a motorcycle for 40 years, 50 years. And I can't believe he's never been hit, or he's never been, no one's ever clipped him, or I'm sure he's might have had some close calls, but man, he made me drive around on that thing when I was like 3 years old, and he didn't even have a backstrap. He didn't have nothing. He had this tiny bike, and he made us girls, he would pick me up from daycare on it, and I'd be so tired I'd fall asleep on the back of his motorcycle. But he always wore one of those, granny fanny things, right? So he made us put our hands into it and hold on to that, right? So we wouldn't fall off the back of the bike, literally. Okay. And he said I fell asleep on the back of it one day after like preschool or fucking kindergarten or something like that. And he thought it was funny. But he said, your thumbs were in my belt and blah, 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 so you weren't going to fall. I was like, I was still 5 years old. I fell asleep on the back of your motorcycle and you just kept going? Like, I just think of the things that my father did, and I just like go, wow, like you were just hoping we would die. I really think you were. I really don't think you gave a fuck about life, or my God, I could keep going, but that was just one of the things on his motorcycle. Like, God damn, you're pretty vulnerable there, eh, Dad? I've seen him twice on his motorcycle in the middle of nowhere, nobody around. I feel like that was a massive test for me. Did you just hear that honk? That was an affirmation. All right, so Whitney's got a lot of fucking rage inside of her. But even my father, who destroyed my entire life, I still wouldn't do anything to. I still didn't even get the hankering to even do anything to him when I saw him. I only thought about it later. And then I was like, well, that was a test, because like I must have been in a good mood, you know. I mean, you get people vulnerable around you all the time. Hence why there's so much murder. I don't know if we should be talking about this. I mean, it is just, I always feel like I'm going to get flagged, but you know what, honestly? I could just smoke a little bit of weed in my video and get flagged. I could say a president's name from a country that YouTube's angry about and get flagged. Somebody could write something in the chat that YouTube doesn't like, I get flagged. I'm going to get flagged no matter what. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. This one video I smoked a clove in got like 900 views. So I'm like, should I just start smoking cloves and getting more views? My sister said there was this guy on YouTube back in the day that used to just sit and smoke cigarettes. And he actually got paid. Trust me, people want to watch you do the weirdest things. Okay, there's a weirdo for everybody out there. Big time. Did you just see that? 2 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. All right, I guess this is how we're starting off the reading. Oh my God, look at these cards just dancing in my hand. There's the Star. 7 of Wands. I definitely feel like somebody's been pretty defensive about something. Defensive about their heart, defensive about the love that they show, defensive about something. And I almost feel like they were recently blocked, and I don't feel like they are blocked anymore. Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. We do have this Mother of Wands energy here as the Queen of Wands. I do feel like this is, again, the defensiveness, defending their nest, defending their home, defending their children, defending something, defending what they love, defending what is vulnerable to the world. Okay. And then the Hierophant is right there with the crow. So I feel with this electric energy here that somebody found the key to something. Okay, and something that they've been kind of maneuvering through for a little while. I feel like finally able to fly free without this entanglement, without being defensive, without having to wave their wand around. Okay, because they don't know who's going to hurt them and what somebody's going to do. Yeah, very free. Judgment energy with the Fool, leaving the nest. Wow, and the 10 of Cups. Wow, and the 6 of Cups and the Emperor standing strong. Okay, somebody's there. It's almost like they can now foresee the future. Okay, because they're a little bit more stable now. They're a little bit more structured now. Okay, that they have the ability to see beyond. Okay, see beyond the illusion or just the material world. Okay, because they were dealing with a rat. Okay, that they hid away from. Okay, and it kind of left them a little bit vulnerable, a little bit almost like goo for gaga over the next thing that they could fall in love with, kind of, right? And they were almost quick to do that because they got hurt. They were almost quick to go and move into that energy again somehow. And I feel like it kind of backfired on them because it was an illusion. So now they're trying something different. Okay, they're going to, I think, work on more like self-happiness. Okay, getting out of the rain, getting out of the sorrow. Okay, again with this vision. Okay, I feel like they're having a vision. Or they have the gift of foresight now. They can see beyond the realm. They can see beyond the physical, right? So they're using their intuition. They're using their gut. They're using their senses. They're using things around them instead of the 3D. Maybe they've noticed how full of shit people really are, and that no matter what, people are just going to lie to you. So you might as well just start trying to find the answers out on your own. Okay, and then this is an interesting card because this is the ace or the 7 of cups, but you see it's upright, or it's in reverse. And when it's in reverse, the sun is out. Okay, and this 1 cup. And when it's upright, this would be your usual illusion. Okay, the moon, the background, not being able to see clearly what these are, right? You can only see the sky. And then you fall into that illusion of you want to give everything away. I want to give, I want to give, I want to give, I want to give. But with this in reverse here, you're just concentrating on this. That's it. Okay, one thing, not all this other shit. Just one. Direct contact with one thing. Okay, and I like this too because it's a 10 of Wands in reverse. You see how all those branches, the 10 of Wands can be your dead end and you have to move on. You have to go somewhere else now. Okay. The fact that it's in reverse, I feel like, yes, there is a dead end. Yes, there is a sticky situation, but I don't feel like this is your sticky situation now. I feel like you could kind of just be like, oh, I see what's going on there and I'm going to go over there instead now. I'm not going to get myself involved in that bullshit. Okay. Because of this ace of cups. It's almost like you go from maybe are there any wands here? Oh yeah, the 4 of Wands. You go from the 4 of Wands, which is, yeah, that's the ceremony, that's the reception, that's the party, the victory. No, well, not really the victory, but the party, the reception, right? The hall, to the 10 in reverse. Something good happened, but then it really wasn't okay after that. You saw a vision, you went with it, and it didn't work. Okay, so now your vision has changed a little bit. Maybe now you are a little defensive because something didn't work out for you that you saw that should have worked out. So you're like, know this whole universe thing now going down with how the fuck I got fucked. Okay, somebody might be a little skeptical. Okay. I swear, until they see it. Okay, until it's in their hand and right fucking there, you're not going to believe it. Okay. And I mean, that's okay. Like, that's not the worst thing. That's just somebody that doesn't want to get fed a bunch of dreams anymore. They want the real thing. And if it's not the real thing, then don't fucking waste their time. Yeah, it's kind of like straight to the point. I feel like they lost themselves with something. You see how these trees are white in the moonlight, and then in the sun, they're black. And there's 2 here, and then we kind of finish off with 1. I do feel like somebody might have lost sight of themselves or lost who they really were because of somebody else. They wanted to be more like the person they were with as opposed to who they really are when they're in their own energy. right? With the sun shining down on them. This is a little bit of an illusion because it's the moon card. You can't really see what you're working with. Everything is much more foggy. Okay. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like somebody definitely has been in a lack thereof mindset for quite a while because the things that they've been working on seem to go nowhere. They get a project up to the 7 and then, you know, up to the fruitation and the blooming, and then suddenly everything dies. Okay, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? How did that happen again? Okay, someone's like, no wonder you're defensive. You kind of have no choice. I mean, you just want to be happy. I don't understand why you can't just be happy. You know, why all these things keep fucking with you so much because of this energy. You know, somebody's greediness that, again, you were illusioned by, you couldn't see. Okay, and then the Six of Cups just showed up. And the Six of Cups, I just want to say, is very much like this Seven of Cups. See those Six of Cups? That's these. Right? So that's these roots that, you know, from the past of, you know, giving and giving and giving and giving. Well, this is your family. This is your family. This is your family. You have to give, 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 give. Somebody's kind of being like, nah, I'm giving to my family. I'm going to do something for myself now. Okay? Like, my roots are good. Okay? Everybody in the root system is fine. Somebody needs to put a little TLC into their shine. You know what I mean? Because the star card is here. So I'm like, are you shining? Or did you lose your shine for a little bit, you know? And now it's coming back because the shine went into the defense. The Chariot. Oh my God, look, I told you, I got my horse shirt on. Everybody get your horse shirts on. We're moving forward. And again, with that moon energy, it's not always going to be set in stone exactly where you're going or that you're going to know exactly where you're going. But with the sun at your back, okay, and movement forward, honestly, I feel like, oh, did you just see that sitting there? Just sitting there all nonchalant on the tower. No big deal or anything. I'm right here. Okay, creepy. And again, maybe that's a little bit part of this tower energy with this Six of Cups. You know, maybe they've extended their growth a little too high. Okay, they still have this whole tree. Okay, like just because of the top, I mean, that's what we call pruning. Okay, so you can cut the top of a tree off and it won't die if you do it properly. Okay, even if Mother Nature takes it down, you can still repair that. Okay, so maybe somebody's just shaving off a couple inches. Ace of Swords. Look at that, lightning came back in. I mean, I think that's the truth. 2 lightning bolts. Look at that. 2 lightning bolts attached to this Ace of Swords. 2 lightning bolts take the top of this tree that somebody does not need anymore. And right underneath that was the Father of Wands. So now we have the Queen and the King of Wands. Okay. The Queen actually showed up first. Okay, so there's a couple right there, all right? And then that's this guy's energy here that helps remove this stagnant energy from either his life, his home, his relationship, right? He's definitely going to help this Mother of Wands that's in a defensive position. He kind of seems to be like, oh, okay, well, I'll stand up for you. I got my wand, right? Yeah, you got a wand, but I got a wand and I got lightning. And then the Mother of Cups. And then the Five of Wands. It almost feels like that the Mother of Cups doesn't have to fight so hard, okay, because now the Five of Wands is in reverse, that she can grow and get her situation back in the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so that's actually kind of a nice story. Like maybe you're going to get help, or maybe you're about to help somebody, okay, get into a better financial situation. And actually, fun fact for you, I was in my dreams the other night and I had a meeting with somebody. Look at that. There's the world. I had a meeting with somebody And there's the Mother of Swords. And they gave me some advice on something that I needed in my life. And then we went right into him, and we talked about work, and we talked about how he needs to make more money because he was really depressed because his business just is not making the right amount of money. And so we went through all of his finances. This was all my dreams. We went through all of his finances, and we did a structured plan. And I unfortunately told him he had to increase his prices, which he was a little upset about. But I said, listen, I'm sorry, but everybody else is increasing their rates. And like, you have to too. It's called inflation. Like, you're going to drown because you have to stay with, 2026, but your prices here are 2020. Like, literally, his prices were pretty low in a lot of things. And I was like, I know that, but people got money, and sometimes you just need to stay ahead of it, especially, or you're going to lose your business. Okay. So basically, moral of the story. Actually, this is ironic with the Five of Swords. With that tear in the middle there, I feel like that tear in the middle, right, with that Ace of Swords is kind of like what somebody needs. Okay. Again, Mother of Swords right there with that Ace of Swords. And the fact that the Ace of Swords showed up in itself. Okay, so I do feel like this truth, it's going to split you, but it's also going to give you the ability to grow, get back into the Six of Pentacles, which will put you in the Seven of Pentacles pretty quickly, as opposed to starting from the Ace of Pentacles again. So the universe is going to start you again, because not everything was actually broken down, and you might see an increase financially or supportively in your community or at work, or right, very quickly. I just cut the deck to the Empress. And right below the Empress is the Father of Swords. So now the King and the Queen of Swords have also shown up. So be very wise about this. Okay, think very hard about this next thing that you're doing. Use your wisdom. Use what you've been taught, but also gain some more insight, gain some more wisdom, gain some more perspective, get a little bit more information, and see how far you can go with this. It seems pretty fucking cool. So yeah, Steven, you like that, eh? That was a pretty groovy reading. I like that reading. I don't use these cards very often. Obviously, you know that. I've had them for what seems like decades. I'm going to do one last reading. And I'm also going to use a different set of cards that I don't usually use, because we've been doing a lot of readings recently. And I have to give the cards some time to rest every now and then and recharge. So we're going to use the Marijuana Oracle. All right. And wrap this reading up. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. From all of you, make sure you send your telepathic questions in my way so I can answer them with spirit when you're ready. Now, next message. Take it if it resonates. Here we go. I feel like somebody needs to possibly spiritually cleanse themselves. And by doing that, that would be like getting caught in the rain, having a rain shower, standing in front of a waterfall, allow that water to kind of wash over you. If you can't be outside, obviously you can have a very cleansing shower with, I would say, like salt. I can kind of hold salt over your head, let it wash over you, let it cleanse you, let it purify you. Okay. Somebody is about to okay. So I feel like there's a very electric energy around somebody that is wanting to connect with you. Abracadabra. Okay, so this could be this is giving me a lot of business vibes. Okay, now that we got the abracadabra salve, when you put, say, Vaseline and beeswax and oil together, and you add weed, you add crystals, you can make different salves, and salves can help with muscle tension, water retention, aches and pains. It can also help with scars. Okay, people put it in their dreadlocks, tightens their dreads. There's a lot of things that you can do with salves. Okay, put it that way. So I feel like when you cleanse yourself, okay, you might get this really incredible idea to create something. Okay, and this could be your next project. Okay, and I think you could see. So I put another tattoo on my finger, like I'm doing stamping right now. It's really kind of hard to see, but I use the red nail polish. Anyways, it's a snake, and it looks fucking super cool. So that's kind of what I'm into right now. I'm doing my nail stamping. Okay, I'm creating alchemy on my nails, creating alchemy on my fingers so that I can create alchemy in the world. Okay. And it's just kind of something that came to me. I get a lot of really awesome downloads when I'm in the shower or when I'm in the bath and I'm just cleansing myself. I'm just chilling, hanging 10, not thinking about anything, relaxing. These ideas will just start shooting to me, right? Because water is a conduit. It's a way that information can get to you without outside interference, right? Because underwater, it's like a sensory deprivation almost, right? That you can block off all your senses. You can block off everything that's going on and just have a complete full connection. Okay. And I feel like, I don't know, you might glam yourself up. You might, I don't know, start wanting to look really good when you go out in public or when you go online or something. You might change your appearance or change what you're doing. And I think it's going to bring you something. Okay, these are general messages. I can't say the same thing for everybody, okay? It's going to bring you in something. Okay, and then that's where this thing is created out of putting these ingredients together, and suddenly now you have a muscle bomb, a salve, right? A creation, a concoction that is organic and safe to use, and possibly a topical for the skin. Okay? Again, take it if it resonates. And then crystal technology, that's what you end up creating. And that's what I technically created on my nails. Alchemy. Right? It's a snake. Right? What are snakes? Snakes they make incredible guardians. They're the metaphor of shedding a skin. Right? They're very rebirth energy. They're very death-like energy. I mean, they certainly scare the shit out of a lot of people. Okay, the serpent energy is very powerful. They're serpent gods. People are known to associate with serpent gods. The anaconda, right? The human-eating snake. Creating something. And I believe it's going to work. Okay? Equalizer, Higher Self. Oh man, I've been wanting to watch that movie for a while. I think I'm going to watch it now. But The Equalizer. What are we looking at here? Higher self. Okay, I think that's actually supposed to be depicted as a firework. Because you know how fireworks, they kind of melt down. You can, or those sparklers, they kind of melt, right? So I think this is like a sparkler kind of energy, or I don't know. That's what I'm getting out of it anyways. So it's like something that's, I feel like you're going to create something that is going to balance something out. Like maybe you're going to make a new perfume, right? Maybe you like to make sprays or something. You might make a specific evil eye spray that really nails it, like really clears out the energy. It seems like somebody's going to make something to help either clear themselves or medicate themselves in some way, but it's organic. It's from the ground, right? And it's something that you create for yourself, for your higher self. Maybe you're going to make a new dress. Okay. Maybe you're going to make a new wine. Maybe you're going to start making moonshine. Maybe you're just going to do something, and it's really going to help you see yourself in a different way. Walk around with a nice dress on. Okay. Put makeup on, make yourself look pretty. There's something about that, by maybe concentrating on that in the morning, concentrating on self-love, concentrating on, just getting your appearance good and feeling good and smelling good, and, the part of the morning routine that people do. And maybe you're just going to come up with something, like you're going to be in a right space. Or, I like to sometimes turn on the music and just let my mind kind of go while I'm getting ready. And I don't want to think about anything. I just want to get myself ready for the day, right? Maybe somebody is going to start a new routine, and it's going to involve, spraying themselves with a certain essential oil every day, or lighting a candle. And it's self-care, it's self-love, it's activating something, so then you can start the day in a positive tone with the right foot. It's not something that you have to force yourself to do. It's just something that equalizes you. I love you. Okay, so I heard this in a song where a guy said, you know what, I'm just going to go back to writing myself love letters. And I was like, I feel like that was Manchester United or Manchester Orchestra, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it is actually Manchester. I think it was called The Gift or The Gold or something. Anyways, he was talking about how he's just going to start writing himself future love letters. And I thought, wow, like how nice it would be to sit down and write yourself a letter about how much you love yourself and everything about yourself that you love. And you just open up that letter every day and you read it. And it was the best letter. It doesn't have to come from somebody else. People always think, how do I tell myself I love myself? Like that's a little narcissistic. No, it's not. Okay. To wake up and say all the things you love about yourself because nobody else will do it. It's not about the fact that nobody else will do it. It's the fact that maybe you just need to hear it. And it doesn't matter who it comes from. As long as it can be read, then why not have it come from you? Right? What's so wrong with that? Love yourself. I mean, it's him writing to, is that the same person? Yeah. The same afro. I mean, he's technically writing to himself. And look at his future self looking at him. Right? Hood love, community. That was on the bottom of the deck. Hood love. And then witch with metaverse. Oh, you are going to create community love. Okay. I really feel like whatever this is, whatever you're going to create, I feel like is going to be very accepted. And I feel like as it gets accepted, whether it's just you accepting yourself, you create more and more and more and more and more. Right? It's like the unreleasing of a valve of finally somebody realizing that they're appreciated for something that they do, even if it's just you appreciating yourself. That's really the only person that you should really care about that appreciates you, is that you appreciate yourself. Everything else is just a bonus. So rise into that higher self, creating something, and almost like creating your own love, then creating your own respect, creating your own community. And maybe it only has one member in it. Who cares? Okay, it's your memory, it's your community, it's your place where you can be, it's yours. Okay, create it, alchemize it, lift to a higher level, and just get there. Oh, is that Miley Cyrus? Well, there you go, right? Like, you can, I buy myself flowers all the time. Look, they're right there. They're dead now because I forgot to water them. I buy myself flowers. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, when you put outside expectations on people to do things for you, but yet you don't ask them to, you're only going to fail yourself. Okay? So, like, love yourself, create for yourself, do something for yourself. And if it's loved by the community, awesome. If it's hated by the community, who gives a shit? You did it for yourself. It's not supposed to be, not everything you do has to be accepted by other people, right? Or liked by other people. Who gives a shit if other people like it, right? It's yours. You did it. You created it. You mastered it, right? You devised it. You planted it. It's yours. Confirmation. Boom. And that concludes our message today. All right, people, sing on the bottom of the deck. Look at her vocal cords are just lit right up. Sing, baby, sing. Sing your little heart out. Spread it, speak it. If you're trying to do something, if you're trying to start something, spread it everywhere like a fucking venereal disease, all right? Get it going on this platform and this platform and that platform and this platform. Just get it fucking everywhere. Get people sick of your name and what you're doing. Because then maybe actually they'll pay attention. Okay? Balance yourself and all will be made in well. So thank you very much, people, for being here and for watching this live. The Five of Cups just appeared out of nowhere, and it almost is kind of giving me that vibe of like, don't just watch it sink, you know, do something about it. Get out there, save your boat before it capsizes. Blueprint with the heart on the bottom of the deck. Nice. See, I do feel like somebody is going to be creating something, and it's like from their heart. Okay, it's directly from their heart. It's like everything that somebody would want to do, right? It's just, it can just be everyday shit. It doesn't have to be stuff that is so far out there and like too beyond, you know, like it can just be, man, you just start making your own sprays or your own, just your own, okay? Make it your own, all right? If you're single, which so many of us are, don't be waiting for somebody to buy you something. Just go out there and buy it yourself. Oh my God, my sister was dating this guy back in the day, and I think this is when we were doing Uber Eats. Anyway, she came across a place that at the end of the day, he would put up $5 roses, $5 bouquet of roses, because the next day he was getting new ones, right? So my sister drove by and she's like, $5 roses? Are you fucking kidding me? She stops, she gets herself a bouquet of roses, goes home. Right away, he comes home and he's like, so who got you the flowers? And she was like, I did. And he goes, what do you mean you did? And she goes, excuse me, because he was like angry with her. And she was like, do you know so-and-so and so-and-so up and blah, blah, blah? Well, they got $5 roses and I, stopped by and got myself some. Like, and he just kind of like, she said, she just kind of like looked at him and like, he just walked away. And it's like, wow, nothing like your fucking boyfriend getting jealous that you went out and bought yourself roses and he didn't. Like, and I think the next week he got her flowers. I was like, don't be that person. Don't just get her flowers now because she goes out and buys her own. Like, be original. Do what you want to do. Like, what the fuck? What is it with people like that? Oh, you like that? Okay, I'm going to start doing that for you now. Like, think of your own thing. Be your own person. Like, don't be angry that you didn't figure something out. It's called, they just started dating. He didn't know my sister loved roses. Right? Like, But make sure you get mad about it, you know, and then punish her. Oh, God. Nothing like getting into relationships with people that are children, you know, act like children, stomp around, get pissed off because they didn't think of something before you said it. It's like, who raised you? Like, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with it, but just like, don't you want to be a better person that's just not angry? Anyways, people, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for chilling with me, Steven. Chilling like a villain. And most likely we'll be back later, like I have been doing usually. I just had this empty spot of the day. Look at this nice bracelet I made. I'm just looking at it and see how it layers. I did this bracelet, by the way, and it just sits so nicely on your wrist. Somebody said they would buy jewelry from me the other day, and I was like, you know I make jewelry. So I don't know. I don't know what God's trying to tell me right now. I'm trying to figure it out. There's so many messages, Steven. I don't know what to do, you know? I know, right? It's a sick bracelet. I know. I'm very crafty. So anyways, I'm working on some shit, you know? Nah. I bet you would. Although I'm not really going to make men's jewelry. But I could. Anyways, people. Thanks for being here. Peace out. And I will see ya soon. All right. Later.